We went for the apples. We came back with stories. And somewhere in the middle of donuts and dirt roads, I learned a few life lessons that still stick, like seeds in homemade preserves. We used to go apple picking every fall, strawberries in the spring, blueberries and peaches in the summer, whatever was in season. It wasn't just about the fruit. It was about the time together. My parents made it a tradition, and they didn't keep it to themselves. The last place we lived, we started inviting international students to join us, many of whom had never picked apples before. Chinese, French, Brazilian, Icelandic, Russian. Some spoke barely a word of English, but the joy on their faces when biting into a fresh apple, that needed no translation. My mom still keeps in touch with one student from China, even after all these years. Our go-to place was Skytop Apple Orchard. Back when we first started going, it wasn't the tourist magnet it is now. You could park right up front, and there were so many trees to choose from. The smell of hot apple cider and fresh cinnamon donuts drifted through the air. We'd pick a bushel or two, find a patch of grass, and have a picnic. Those were the golden days, when it felt like the orchard was our own little secret. But my very first apple memory wasn't in South Carolina. It was in Washington State, at my uncle's orchard. I was 3 years old and took my very first flight to visit him. Years later, my sister and I went back to work one summer, picking baby's breath, those delicate white flowers people use in bouquets. He leased over 1,000 acres and had us waking up at 4 a.m., eating Lucky Charms for breakfast and heading out to work the land. I'll never forget the day I tried to correct him on how to pack the dried flowers. Thought I knew better. He didn't yell. He didn't argue. He just adjusted my pay. Lesson learned. Sometimes the fruit of the Spirit is humility, especially when someone's paying you by the stem. And that brings me back to Cobbler. I used to think Cobbler was all about the fruit, peaches, apples, maybe a little ice cream on the side. But now I know. The real Cobbler is made of a dozen things that don't fit in a recipe card. Kindness, laughter in the orchard, and stories that somehow stick even when we don't know they're being written. That's the Cobbler Code. It's worth keeping.